Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Little King story playthrough! So, the Craftians turned up the other day. We managed to explore quite a nice little chunk, actually, of places we can with the Craftian. But there's a bit more that we can do, actually. And there's actually quite a long stretch of land that we are able to discover. And you know how I mentioned the ticker tape glitching? It's only in having watched it a few times now is that I've realised that what happens is that the text is fine, but then it gets to the end of the ticker tape, and then all of a sudden it starts shunting towards the end text, and it's very bizarre. But it's all good. Now I have to say, it's an absolute godsend that we have the jump cannon that leads us to the new island park, because that's where we need to go in order to get a few of the extra things that we need to pick up. Because you probably recall that there are a collection of locations along the route through New Island that were blocked off by the obvious Craftian entry point. So we are going to be dealing with those. Because obviously, as you would expect, there are art pieces waiting for us, there are treasures waiting for us, all sorts of good stuff, and basically kinda need to pick it all up, really. And it's so close. It's so very goddamn close. But we can't get there, unfortunately. That is actually the location that we're going to be working towards reaching today, which is actually quite nice. So was this little area completely pointless? That would seem to be the case. I suppose, in a way, it just notifies you that there is a location that has two art pieces in a massive hole, so you kind of need to be on the lookout for it, but then if you're going to be exploring other bits of the kingdom, you're going to come across the damn place anyway. So, swings and roundabouts. And I believe that there was another location to that, similar to that in New Island, just over the other side of the river, so we're gonna have to go pick that one up as well. Basically, this is just it's an exploration part, shall we say. But don't worry, because we are going to be doing quite a few quests in the next batch of parts. And actually, we will be finishing off some of the princess quests. Because, I mean, we are so very, very close to the end of the game now. Like, the entire playthrough will be complete within 10 parts. Less than 10 parts, actually. So, we are so very close. And, ooh! We have an axe, which is a set square, which is a kind of completely ridiculous weapon, but incredibly fitting with the nuttery that is Little King's story, I feel. Because, we fought King Jumbo Champloo, which was one of the most ludicrous things I have ever seen in my life, and probably ever will see ever again. So, a set square as a weapon, it's totally fine by me. And I thought, well, let's just drop all that off, because I know that the place that we're going to be picking up probably quite a lot of items. So I want to make sure that my bag's not full, so I can just continue onwards, really. So, oh god damn me. This would have been so easy if I'd built that damn bridge. But I didn't. So... yeah. So we're going to have to go the other way, which is pop over to the Royal City, head up through Magical Land and out that way. And obviously there would be the opportunity to build that bridge, but considering we are never going to need that crossing ever, and I really do mean that, we are never going to need it, I am simply going to ignore that it is a thing, and we are going to deal with the crafting thing, because that's what I'm here for. Even if I wanted to build that bridge, I'm just not going to, because there is literally no point! And oh, I wonder whether we're going to be able to get over the, is it 1 billion, 1 trillion mark? We're loaded at this point, and for God's sake! Of course Yvonne was gonna... I'm sorry, Santos! Yeah, you're gonna be facing a lot of enemies down this road. A ridiculous amount of enemies. And obviously they're all quite deadly in some form or other. Because you're going to be facing now quite a few Yvonnes. Like, more than you will have ever faced in a single stretch before. Like, practically around every turn, you're going to be facing down an Yvonne. And to be fair, it's more than a little difficult to get through this without losing at least one person as you go. So, sorry, Merlin. And that's just asking for Yvonne's to turn up. You see? Told you. Who'd we lose that time? I'm sorry, Dahlia. It's like, I like that we're able to kill the Yvonnes so quickly that they can't actually do much damage after they kill one person, but it's just that initial hit that I can't do anything about, which is really irritating. And actually, it was a very good job that we came this way, because as you can see, there's a UFO. And I believe that that might actually be our penultimate UFO. Which means that, should we wish to, in the next part, we will actually be able to finish off Shizuka's quest. Which is great. So let's get that UFO back into the sky. What are you going to return to us, matey? Because we've obviously been missing it so much. Yes, that was a total blunder. Oh, we're getting a sheep back. I suppose we do kind of need sheep, because they do kind of give you wool and meat. So, kind of quite important. But yes, I believe that that is our penultimate UFO, so that's going to be great. And I have no idea. Oh, okay. How interesting. Now, if you... yeah, if you even attempt to start building that, the Typhoony Bunch will come and try and attack you. So, you have just got to be careful. Thankfully, until they reach a certain point, they won't actually cause any damage. But obviously, as soon as they reach kind of the centre bit there, they are just going to start causing tornadoes. So if you hadn't taken them down in a quest before, this is where you would be facing them down. Yeah, so there is no way that you are not going to be able to find them to get them into your UMA book. And to be fair, I think they're probably actually easier to beat up here, because it's very easy to get out of the way, and it's also very easy to see when they are actually going to attack, and avoid the attacks because they're only ever going to loop around in that little area there. So that's actually really quite helpful. And also because they won't actually be able to actually attack you until they get to the centre of this area, so you have much more time to actually take them down, which is great. But essentially, once we have taken down whatever her name is, we've just got to build that bridge, or just grab the art pieces. I'm not quite sure. We need to see. Oh yeah, we need to build a bridge because it's just there. I was thinking, is that the Wonderboard? No, that's the bridge. Once that bridge is built, we're sorted. So there go the Typhoony bunch, and we're so close. We saw it right at the start of the part. Now we're actually going to get into it. Now that hole is going to have a lot of enemies in it, and a lot of powerful enemies as well. So it's a good job we still have pretty much all of our party, and also most of them are pretty healthy in the long run. So this shouldn't be too difficult overall. So let's pick up those art pieces first and foremost. Want to make sure we've got them. So 68, Nose Hair Old Man. Baldy Nose Hair, Baldy Muck Nose Hair, I feel. And Sakya Konohana. Ooh! Well, I have to say it looked like a whale, so I'm very confused as to why they went with Sakya Konohana for a whale. Because it's not normally tree stuff, normally flowers, that sort of thing. I mean, that generally does fit quite well with Sakya and Konohana. But, I'm not going to quibble. You can do what you like with your mythologies and your histories and your legends and stuff. Sometimes I do like them to be a little bit more accurate with things, but when it's just a drawing for an enemy, sometimes you have to take a little bit of artistic license to come up with something that's effective, I feel. Although obviously sometimes you do have to be very, very careful, because certain people do get very, very defensive of their cultures and the things involved in those cultures. As I believe I have said many a time. Potentially in this playthrough as well, but mostly in other playthroughs where it is actually more of an issue, or where it has the potential to be more of an issue. I certainly know that in the Disneython Mark II that I have participated in, I've certainly mentioned it quite a few times there. And oh, I'm sorry, Egan. And guys, the enemy's literally right there. Literally right there. How did you miss the hole for the enemy? Oh well, it's fine, we'll just take it. We've moved the Oni a little bit to the side now. Guys. Seriously. The Oni workers. Just there. Literally. That's who I was sending you towards. Why couldn't you just, attack that? Finally, we have separated them, so that thing's going to go down. And I believe we actually only have maybe 1 or 2 more enemies left, but they're going to be quite hefty, so we're going to have to work hard, I feel, to take it down. Oh, there we go. It's a super escargot! And we've petrified him. Which is probably not necessarily the smartest move I ever chose to make, because, as you will notice, for some bizarre reason, whenever you have petrified the Super Escargot, nobody seems to be able to actually leap on top of him and launch any super attacks, which I find really, really odd. And it does just mean that this ends up taking far longer than it ever needed to. And also, it's just like... he's very, very aggressive. So, in a way, it's kind of useful to have the Doctor come in. Because... the Brady Doctor, I mean, not the Doctor, because if the Doctor was coming in, then, you know, we would just sort of use the TARDIS to get inside the hole and then just grab the goods and bugger off. But no, we need to actually take this thing down, otherwise there's no way in hell we're getting down that hole. And I'm sorry, Moku. Just everybody... well, I've only had 5 people die today, so I suppose it's not the worst I've ever done. I think the worst was probably the Big Raddies. That was particularly horrifying for me. I was just like, I've lost everybody. Bar one person, I think it was at the end. I was just like, oh my god. At least at this time everyone's still here, and, I mean, really, we're going to be totally fine. Might lose maybe a few more people as we just round this off, but nothing too horrendous. And, oh, thank God it's dead, and, oh, some people were already finishing off digging up the hole, and, oh. Well, it's a... guys, I have literally no idea what happened to them just then. Looks like they just got wiped off the screen. I don't think they died, so I don't think I have anything to worry about, but that was just very bizarre. There's a few glitches in Little King's story, not many, but a few. And that was certainly one of the odd ones. And, oh, it's a legendary ring, so that was very useful. It was a lovely treasure for us. Slightly disappointed, but no, it's something that's going to be very, very useful to us. And yes, I think we should definitely rest up, because... oh, that was rough on us, I feel. Ooh. Oh good, we've had a shave now, we are feeling rejuvenated and refreshed. So I suppose, do we... yes, we do probably need to go over to the beach and... oh, thank God all 5 of them washed ashore. Whew. Yeah, definitely did just wipe my forehead in relief there. Despite the fact that nobody can see me unless there's somebody actually watching through my webcam, which would be really, really creepy. I suppose it's the weirdness of having cameras on everything. You never know when somebody's watching you. See, it's basically like Big Brother in that respect. They're watching you. Always watching. That was my attempt at doing a Roz impression from Monsters, Inc. I was able to do it quite well when I was younger. I still sort of am able to do it now, but whenever I do it, it just completely wrecks my throat. As you can see, I suddenly start coughing ridiculously, so it's one of those ones where it's just like, I wish I could continue to do my Roz impression, but it's one that is not really good for my voice anymore, so I've had to stop. But, ooh! 1 wonder spot to go, last ingredient, and only 1 left to finish, so we've got lots of princess quests that we can finish off, and we are definitely going to be doing that in the next day, so, oh, it's going to be glorious! Haha! First, save up, and then we'll be good to move on.